a little bit. Let's see if you can take it back down to about 6 out of 10 volume on the first note. And then as we go down the scale, because the vocal cords, they need to relax to vibrate properly for those low notes, instead of going louder, we need to go steadily and regularly softer. That will have the same effect as if one were to say, try to relax as you go lower. Okay? So 6 out of 10 on the volume scale. Okay. That's better. You feel the difference already. It's a little bit smoother now. The sound is more even as it comes across. So there's the benefit there. We're not forcing in any way. This one, 5.5, just a tiny little bit less maybe. Same. In through the nose. Down to 4 out of 10 volume, slightly less. Very good. That was probably about 3 out of 10. So keep that volume level for this one. And the lowest one we're going to do on this exercise, take it right down to 2 out of 10. Almost like you're just very gently talking. Excellent. So good control of the volume. So that's one of the tools we want in our bag. If something is going wrong with a phrase on a song, it may be that we're pushing too hard. We're trying to do too much volume. We've got to be able to back off. It may also fail. That last one perhaps was just a little bit unsteady because maybe Joseph backed off to a little bit less than was necessary. That might have been because 2 wasn't enough, or it might have been because you backed off more than 2 out of 10. We're not sure, but you just get a feel for it. As you're singing, you think, oh no, that one needs a bit more. Oh no, that's too much. Yeah. Most people have a tendency to do too much, to sing louder, because it sounds better to our ear. You may notice over the microphone, I'm not sure how it's coming across, but you may notice that the loud sounds, you may think, oh, that sounds better, and the soft sounds don't sound as good. But I can assure you that live in the room, the soft sounds sound beautiful and soft, and the loud sound very good and beautiful and loud. And if a microphone was there, of course, we can make it as loud or as soft as we like. So don't be fooled by the quality in loud and soft. Okay. Now, once we've established the amount of force we're putting on the voice, the amount of volume, the amplitude, if you like, we want to make sure of a few other things. So we're running through the vowels there, the E vowel, the A vowel and the R vowel in order, and there's a good reason for that. The E vowel has more head resonance to the vowel. The tongue at the back lifts up, and the frequencies, the high frequencies are exaggerated in the E vowel, and that's what it makes it sound like E. Then we change to the A vowel, which is somewhere in between the two, and the R vowel has a sort of more rounded sound to it where the lower frequencies are more dominant. And we want it to be very contrasting. So watch out for this slight trap of trying to make it sound very even. Because if you negate your vowel changes and you make it sound very even, then we're not really doing E and getting the high head resonance, and we're not really opening up perhaps to R and getting the deep resonance. In this instance, it was very good actually, but I would like you to do a little bit more E on your E.
Okay.
So the E vowel is with a tongue that's sort of quite raised at the back and with a little smile, so that we get some teeth. And that's, if we just say a few words with E in it, can you just say, please, Louise, I'd like some cheese?
Please, Louise, I'd like some cheese.
So if you watch, could you just say that towards the camera?
Please, Louise, I'd like some cheese.
So you see every time very naturally done, so, which is not easy when a camera's on you. But if you look at Joseph's mouth when he did that, every time he said E, we see some teeth, like a little smile. The teeth are together, and unfortunately what you can't see is that his tongue was raised at the back of his mouth in there, but sometimes you can get to feel that. Now when you were singing, your E was a little bit more like that. It would be a bit like you did cheese, Louise, or whatever the word, the expression I said was. So let's see if we can get that E to be as perfect as your very naturally spoken E. E with a little smile. Think of that lovely Louise we've been talking about. Or maybe the cheese, I don't know. Whichever one makes you smile more. Much better.
How's the volume?
The volume was perfect. 6 out of 10 to start with. Excellent. Possibly could go up to 7.
7? Okay.
And. That one was even better. Now, I don't know if that came across the mic, but there was a little bit of extra head resonance at the front in the sinuses. Do you feel that from the inside? So if you're doing that at home, that's something that you'll feel for yourself. When you get that E resonance right, you'll feel it buzzing in these kind of cavities. Now watch out, there's another trap here that people fall into, because they do that and they go, oh no, I'm sounding nasal. But it's not. It's part of the quality of the E vowel. If you overdo it, okay, it could sound a little bit nasal, but it's supposed to sound like that, okay? So stick with it. Let's go down the scale again. E-A-R, keep that smile, happy thoughts, keep thinking of something funny. And good. A little bit more E still, and keep the head just a little bit lower. Very good. Now, here's another trap that you can fall into. As you're thinking about getting your teeth closed, it's easy to fall into what I often refer to as the Wallace and Gromit trap. You know when Wallace and Gromit smile, and you kind of smile with the lower teeth like that. And really what we want is that kind of very natural upper teeth smile. Have a go, Joseph. The very first E was the best one.
All right.
Yeah, and you made a slight adjustment after the first one, as if you thought, not quite there, maybe I'll go somewhere else. But the first one was the best one, it's the highest. E. Photographers often say cheese, because they know when you say E, they'll get a smile, but then they start getting some kind of a Wallace and Gromit smile, so they normally just say something to make you laugh instead. And then we know we're okay. With singing, it's the other way around. We're trying to do an E sound, and we want it to be as natural as possible, so it's actually better to try and get the student to laugh. Unfortunately, I'm not very funny, so have a go this one. Can't think of a single joke at the moment. The first E there was the best one again. It was really bright, and then actually you switched it and made it slightly darker. Okay. This kind of thing is probably quite obvious to us listening, and to me listening here, and less obvious to Joseph, and it'll be less obvious to yourself what you're doing at home, because you feel it perhaps slightly more than we hear it. And with those E things, with those vowel qualities, it's something that we really have to hear. Once we've heard it, we'll probably start to feel the difference. Unfortunately, if I just say to Joseph, try and move the back of your tongue a little bit higher, it's quite hard to do. Here's a trick to try and make it happen a little bit more. The K sound, K, makes your tongue touch the roof of your mouth at the back. And just say for me, key.
Key.
Okay, so now Joseph's tongue is a little bit higher. So let's replace our EAR with key-AR, key-AR, key-AR. K. And.
Sorry.
Key.
Breathing through the nose, right?
Yeah. And not too much, that's it, good.
Key-AR, 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 K.
And that's pretty much solved the problem. That E is right in the right spot now. What we're doing here is we're trying to place the vowels. So that's a term you may have come across before. I won't go into it right now, so the video is going to get too long. So this K has helped Joseph to get his tongue into the right position to make a really good E sound. Let's do a few more like that. Key-AR.
Key-AR, 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 K.
Can you feel the back of your tongue going up and down? So do it for the first one and then get rid of the K sound and see if you can keep it in the same place. That was excellent up until the very last E when you went back to slightly old habit. Did you notice?
No.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Slightly less volume. That's the best one so far. Good, so we're finding those higher frequencies which Joseph needs in his tenor voice to keep everything nice and easy and everything really singing, projecting beautifully. And we're finding those with these little tricks. And it really bears out a point I made before. You can't learn to sing from YouTube videos. Now that sounds ridiculous because here I am making a YouTube video to teach you how to sing. But I'd like to get that across. These are to give you ideas, to help you to search out a teacher that can really help you. And when you're picking your teacher, if you're a tenor, try and find a good tenor who you like the sound of their voice. Make sure that they can sing and you like what they're doing. And then when they understand the tenor voice and their voice will be similar to yours and you'll be able to relate, they'll be able to demonstrate and it'll make sense. And that's why I've got lovely Joseph here, is to demonstrate for you tenors who have a very similar voice like Joseph. If you're a soprano and you're watching right now, then flick over to the videos with one of the sopranos that's on the channel. At the moment, Carrie is doing some exercise on there, and work with her. She's a lyric soprano. Or Sarah, who's a slightly deeper soprano, more like a spinto soprano. But tenors, stick with Joseph. Okay, we've gone down the scale.